times those Porsches saw daylight in 35 plus years.
Exactly. This is great. Yeah, I haven't seen these long time.
Yeah, those have been in there since I've been 5, 6 years old, and I'm 38 now, and I know they were there for a while. My uncle told us stories about them, and it's like a lot of the other stuff, he collected it. He didn't flash it around, as you can see. He just liked having them in his barn, because he knew what they were. There he goes, here it comes.
So this is a 1958 356A Cabriolet Super. We purchased this car along with 2 other 356As from the estate of Jerome Malinowski, who was one of the original designers of the Ford Mustang.
Jerry was a man of so many different things, and I know he loved cars. He worked for Ford Motor Company. It was in his blood, I think, with all the cars, and that's why all these cars are saved now, especially these Porsches.
There's a friend of mine, he had a 55 Ford Speedster, and we used to race this thing. Actually, we used to lay on the street and watch how we cornered, how we took the corners. Talk about being crazy, right?
Obviously the Speedster, which is very similar to this, has an iconic look to it. The 356A body style, which has always been one of my favorites, was very influential, I think, in his thinking, and obviously that's why he had 3 of them, and that's what I find particularly interesting about the whole thing. We got it running, engine runs well. It's interesting because it's kind of got that hot rod flavor to it from the early 70s. It's an interesting time capsule piece, and it actually has kind of a nice style to it, just the way that it is. Somebody may elect to restore the car because it is the first 58 produced, but when they do that, there's a little story here that could get also lost in the mix because it really is a one-off, interesting piece of history.
You always hear stories about people finding a car in their barn, or their, from their long lost cousin or from their grandmother who only drove it to the grocery store and church. And here we have it right here with my brother, just sitting here because he collected them and he knew what they were worth.